In a world where spending money has become easier than ever, saving money can feel like a difficult task. With online shopping, food delivery apps, subscription services, and constant advertising, it is easy to spend money without even realizing it. Like many people, I often found myself making small purchases throughout the month that seemed harmless at the time but added up quickly. That is when I decided to try a 30-day no-spend challenge. The concept was simple: avoid all unnecessary spending for an entire month and only spend money on essential needs. I wanted to see how much money I could save, how difficult the challenge would be, and whether it would change my relationship with money. What is a no-spend challenge? A no-spend challenge is a personal finance challenge where participants commit to avoiding non-essential purchases for a specific period of time. The goal is not to stop spending completely but to eliminate unnecessary expenses and become more mindful of where money goes. Before starting the challenge, I created a list of expenses that were allowed and expenses that were not. Essential expenses included rent, groceries, utility bills, transportation, and necessary healthcare costs. Everything else was considered non-essential. This meant no online shopping, no restaurant meals, no entertainment purchases, no new clothes, and no impulse spending. At first, the challenge sounded easy. After all, how hard could it be to avoid spending money for just 30 days? However, I quickly realized that many of my spending habits were deeply connected to convenience and routine rather than actual necessity. Preparing for the challenge before the challenge began, I spent a few days preparing. I reviewed my bank statements and analyzed where my money had been going over the previous month. The results were surprising. Small purchases that seemed insignificant individually had added up to a substantial amount. I noticed frequent spending on takeout meals, coffee shops, subscription services, and random online purchases. None of these expenses seemed major at the moment of purchase, but together they represented a significant portion of my monthly budget. To improve my chances of success, I planned ahead. I stocked up on groceries, created meal plans, cancelled unnecessary subscriptions, and made a list of activities I could enjoy without spending money. This preparation turned out the most important factors in completing the challenge successfully. Week 1. The excitement phase. The first week felt surprisingly easy. I was focused on my goal and felt confident that I could complete the full 30 days. During this period, I became more aware of how often I was tempted to spend money. While browsing social media, I noticed advertisements encouraging purchases. Emails promoting discounts and sales appeared in my inbox daily. Even casual conversations with friends often involved spending money on restaurants, shopping. What surprised me most was how often spending had become an automatic habit rather than a conscious decision. Many times, I almost made purchases out of routine before remembering the challenge. This awareness alone was already changing the way I thought about money. By the end of the first week, I had spent significantly less than usual and felt encouraged to continue. Week 2. Facing the real challenges. The second week was much more difficult. The initial excitement had faded, and the challenge started to test my discipline. I found myself wanting to buy things that I normally would not think twice about purchasing. Small conveniences suddenly felt more valuable because they were no longer available. Ordering food after a long day seemed tempting. Shopping online for entertainment felt appealing. Even simple purchases like snacks and drinks required more thought. This phase taught me an important lesson: many spending habits are emotional rather than practical. Sometimes I wanted to spend money because I was bored. Other times I wanted to reward myself after a stressful day. The challenge forced me to recognize these patterns. Instead of spending money, I looked for alternatives. I cooked meals at home, went for walks, read books I already owned, and spent more time. While it was not always easy, I began realizing that enjoyment does not always require money. Week 3. discovering new habits. By the third week, something interesting happened. The challenge started feeling normal. The urge to spend money became less intense, and I found myself adapting to my new routine. Week 4, seeing the results the final week was the most rewarding because I could clearly see the financial impact of the challenge. My bank account balance was higher than usual, and I had avoided many unnecessary purchases that would have provided only temporary satisfaction. More importantly, I felt a greater sense of control over my finances. After nearly a month of mindful spending, the distinction became much clearer. The biggest lessons I learned: first, awareness is powerful. Third, self-discipline improves with practice. The challenge felt difficult at first, but it became easier as new habits developed. This showed me that financial discipline is a skill that can be strengthened over time. Finally, happiness and spending are not always connected. Some of the most enjoyable moments during the challenge involved activities that cost nothing at all. Would I recommend a no-spend challenge? While the challenge may not be easy, it is one of the best ways to understand personal spending habits. A no-spend challenge does not need to last 30 days to be effective. Even a week or two can provide valuable insights. The goal is not perfection but awareness. By temporarily removing unnecessary spending, people gain a clearer understanding of what truly matters and where their money should be going. For anyone looking to save money, reduce financial stress, or improve budgeting skills, this challenge can be an excellent starting point. Completing a 30-day no-spend challenge was one of the most eye-opening financial experiences I have ever had. While the challenge was not always easy, the rewards went far beyond the money saved. It taught me valuable lessons about intentional spending, financial priorities, and personal growth. The experience proved that controlling spending is not about deprivation, it is about making conscious decisions that align with long-term goals. Thanks for watching. Have you ever tried a no-spend challenge? Let me know in the comments how long you think you could go without unnecessary spending. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more personal finance tips and money-saving challenges.